beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Thursday morning. Do you notice for 3-4 days, these ignorant son of a bitches on TV, the weathermen, it's going to be a monsoon, get your ark out, go call Noah, because it's going to rain and rain and rain. Why do they want to scare us with weather? We've got enough to be afraid about walking out of our houses, getting killed, getting robbed, getting raped. These son of a bitches want to scare you with weather. It's going to be a snowstorm and get a half an inch of snow. I don't know why the hell they do that. There's just something inbred in these weather people on these TV stations. I don't know what it is, and you people know what I'm talking about. Let's take care of our housekeeping. We're going to talk about Mr. Sprague again. They tell me that he may, and I don't know this to be factual, he may become the new spokesman for Depends underwear. And we'll talk about that. Anybody got anything to say? This is America's Voice of Freedom. We are the Patriot. Call toll free 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. Aveston and Albers, Cub Scout breakfast for Trooper Pack 255 will be held this Sunday, March the 13th, at the Aveston American Legion Hall. All-you-can-eat breakfast. We're going to try to make it out there. We love those people in Washington and Clinton County. They've always treated us good. So that's Sunday, March the 13th at the Aveston American Legion. A barbecue, Concordia United Church of Christ, located at State Route 163 in Belleville, right north of Millstadt, to be held Saturday, March the 19th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pork steaks, brats. All the proceeds will benefit the Concordia Cemetery Fund. As always, we're going to try to be out there again tomorrow up until Lent. Our good friends at the Smith & Turner Hall. They're going to have they've got the best. I had some baked fish out at Smith, and I don't want to keep harping on it, but it was the best I've ever eaten. You can get their full menu online at smithandturnerhall.com. They're open from 5 to 8 during Lent at the Smith & Turner Hall in Smithton, Illinois, every Friday, and we'll be out to see you, good people. Also, Lebanon, Illinois, and Richard Smith, thank you very much for this information. Says, hi, Bob, this is Rich Smith from the Lebanon, Illinois Fire Department. Listen to your show every day. Can you please announce the annual Lebanon Volunteer Fire Department Good Friday Fish Fry on March the 25th at the Lebanon Fire Hall? It's from 4 to 7:30 p.m. We will also have a drive-through in the alley behind the firehouse. Love to have you there. Thank you. No, thank you guys for sending this. That's in Lebanon, coming up on March the 25th, the Lebanon Fire Department, from 4 to 7:30 p.m. And it's a shame. It's a shame our country's in the shape it's in, where all these decent guys, they fight these fires for nothing, most of them, people. These volunteer firemen, they get up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of them don't make it home. After they leave, some of them don't make it home. And they're doing that and then they have to go out and have fundraisers. What's wrong with our government? What's wrong with our government that we can't take care of our proud veterans? We can't take care of the people that protect us, the firemen, the policemen. Give them a decent wage. Don't make them go out and have to get money other places. This is the greatest country on this earth. And we'd have to have all these fundraisers. And I know, nothing against the fundraisers because these guys are out there busting their ass. But why can't we as a government, quit spending our money, wasting our money on things just to get these politicians reelected? Let's take care of our firemen, our policemen. But Lebanon Fire Department, Fish Fry, Good Friday Fish Fry on March the 25th, guys. We'll try to make it out there. As always, the good buddies at the Millstadt Fire Department, their annual barbecue, pork steaks, bratwurst, Easter weekend, Saturday, March the 26th, from 11 a.m. until it's all gone. Eat in or go out. Says, please help support your local volunteer fire department, and I hope everybody does. Any questions or concerns, you can call 476-1234. And guys, we donated last year. We've got a $250 check for you guys. And thank you again very much, all our first responders, for all you do. The Emmanuel United Church of Christ in Hamel, Illinois, their family-style chicken dinner coming up this Sunday, March the 13th, serving from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Any questions or concerns, you can contact 618-633-2277. Trivia night and silent auctions. All proceeds benefit the Belleville West girls soccer team, to be held March the 12th. I guess that's Saturday, starts at 7 p.m. It'll be held at the St. Joseph's Catholic Church Perry Center in the great village of Freeburg, Illinois. If you have any questions or concerns, would like to attend, would like to donate, you can contact Dawn Valmer. It's 618-980-8791, or Leah at 618-410-4069. You can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can always go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all three of our great stations. You can now hear my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And also every night at the stroke of midnight, Monday through Friday. I broadcast from the graveyard to the graveyard shift. And we archive all of our shows, people, so after the Tuesday show, you can pick up our shows up until Tuesday, and then from Tuesday to Friday, you have to wait till Saturday, and they archive our shows. So we're a couple days late, but if you want to hear anything I've got to say, if you want to hear what I'm talking about, feel free. And if you have any complaints, call the damn complaint department, because I don't give a damn. Only kidding. I give a damn what people think. The problem is, most people don't give a damn what we think, the proud Americans. On this date, March the 10th, 1862, the United States first issued the 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, and $1,000 paper money bills. On this date, March the 10th, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell made his first telephone call with the now famous words, "Come here, Watson, I want you." Somewhat like Kern, I guess, in Belleville, going to the men's locker room. I haven't never seen any weights in the men's locker room. Well, never mind. March the 10th, on this date, 1880, the Salvation Army arrived in the United States. Well, it doesn't say where they arrived from, but they arrived in the United States. The Salvation Army, a great group, on March the 10th, 1880. March the 10th, 1969, James Earl Ray, convicted assassin of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., was sentenced to 99 years in prison. On this date, March the 10th, 1971, the Senate approved an amendment lowering the voting age to 18. On this date, and I remember reading about this, March the 10th, 1974, a Japanese soldier was found hiding in the Philippines. He still thought World War II was going on, and he was waiting to be relieved from his own forces. And it's got in parentheses here, no doubt he had a lot of back pay coming. On this date, March the 10th, 1977, rings were discovered around Uranus. And also, stinking hair was found around Sprague and Kern's Uranus. I don't know what date that was, but not a pretty sight, I'm sure. On this date, March the 10th, 1994. White House officials in Washington, D.C. began testifying about the Watergate white water scandal, the Clintons. And you ever notice, on a side note, these politicians get involved in more crap, and I know there's a lot of Democrats out there, but they're talking about Hillary should be indicted, but it might not be because of political reasons. You ever notice that we're the ones that suffer when we make a mistake, but these politicians, they just keep on trucking? That's what happened on this date, March the 10th, throughout all these years in our world's history. One more coming up March the 19th, music trivia for the 8th graders at the Millstadt Elementary School. Music-based questions. It'll be on March the 19th. I guess it's going to be at the Millstadt VFW. It's kind of hard to read this, but all the good people in Millstadt, they need your help. You can contact 660-9797 for any more information. I got a letter here. Gentleman says his name's Mike Jones. He listens to Bob Romanik every day. He works for Inland Technologies in Millstadt. He says, my wife and I are members of the American Legion Riders Post number 480 out of Steelville, Illinois. He says, my wife works for a doctor in O'Fallon, Illinois, and a patient came in and told her he needed a wheelchair for his wife. He's a veteran, and the VA insurance wouldn't pay for a wheelchair. Now, see, that pisses me off on its own. The VA, they got money to give all these politicians pensions forever and ever, big salaries, per diems, but they don't have the money to give a veteran, a proud veteran who helped protect us and fought for our freedoms, a wheelchair. So they said they asked around, and OxyCare in Belleville, I guess it's a company in Belleville, gave them a free of charge, a free wheelchair for this gentleman's wife that fits her needs. OxyCare is a medical supply place in Belleville. Is it possible for Bob Romanik to give OxyCare a shout out on the air for their generous donations to one of our nation's heroes? It would be an honor. And OxyCare, we want to give you the KQQZ Real American Salute for the generous show of kindness to a true American in need. OxyCare in Belleville. We're going to give you guys a call. We're going to give you some free ads, guys. What a great group of people. Come in and, hey, the government, because they're stealing all our money, these politicians stealing all our money, can't give you nothing, but a businessman will help a veteran and his family out. OxyCare of Belleville, we want to salute you today and every day. And I mean that serious. I'm so tired. You know, I'm running for office. I'm not a politician. I seen more honorable people in Leavenworth where I was at, and I mean that. I could put my watch on the counter, and it'd be there if I forgot about it. And I've done that several times when I was in Leavenworth. You put your watch up there at the courthouse in one of these politicians' office, it's going to be gone. It's like it's got legs. Unbelievable. It just pisses me off. This is from Mr. Oregon, Dominic Oregon. Thank you for saying what needs to be said. And that's why I moved back to this great country from where I'm from. Because where I'm from, you can't say certain things. I have one question for you, sir. What are your plans, if elected, to do for the homeless epidemic? Thank you, and you've got my vote and the Hispanic vote. Gracias, Mr. Oregon. Thank you very much for the email, sir. You know, as a state representative, I don't know what I can do for the homeless, but you know what I do for the homeless and the hungry every day? And I don't want to pat myself on the back. I mean, these guys beat the hell out of me, and I'm not perfect, but I don't want to sit there and say all I've done, because I didn't do it to advertise it. I did it because it makes me feel good. It just makes me feel good. But I've done for the homeless, but anything that comes before me as a legislature in Springfield that can help the homeless and the hungry, I'm for. I will promise everybody, I will not. I signed a pledge. Somebody sent me some crap. I signed a pledge. I will not. Here, people. Here's what I'll say to people in my district. I said I'll vote for the way you want me to vote. I'm not going to vote for Rauner. I'm not going to vote for Madigan. I'm going to vote for what you people want because you sent me there. But here, maybe I lose votes in the 114th district. Don't ask me. And I'm not going to take a salary benefits. I'm not taking a penny from you good people. It's an honor. It will be an honor to serve you. I'm not there for the money, for the $140 a day per diem. But I will tell you, may cost me the election on the air right now. I will never, ever vote for a tax increase. I say we knock these taxes down. I say we quit spending. I'll vote for anything that cuts spending in a manner that we need to. Everybody. I don't want to take, if I need $100, I don't want to take $100 from your family. We need to take 50 cents from 200 families. We're all going to get hurt a little bit with that 50 cents, but it's not going to devastate us. We're still going to put food on the table. We're still going to be able to pay our bills. But I'll be damned. I'm for cutting spending, and we're all going to have to hurt a little bit. And we'll talk about that later. You're all going to have to hurt a little bit. These politicians, Democrats and Republicans, there's enough blame to go around, have squandered so much money in the last 20, 30 years. They've kicked that can down the road for generation after generation. And now we're paying for it. We are paying for it. And we're going to have to cut back, people. But I'll be damned. I will never vote to raise a tax. I will say cut our salaries. Cut the governor's salary. Cut the state representative salary. One of the highest paid state representative functions in the United States, in the state of Illinois. I say cut all the elected officials' salary. Never heard of a politician getting laid off, getting their salary. Oh, we can't cut salaries. It's illegal. When you get elected, those 4 years has to be the same salary. And I understand that. But if you found anybody other than Bob Romanik, I'm not going to take any money, not one penny, from this great state. If you've heard any of these guys saying for the next election, let's cut our salaries in half, let's cut our benefits in half, that's from the state house to these courthouses all throughout this state. You don't hear them ever. Tighten your belt. I will tell you, I will lead by example. If I tell you you have to tighten your belt, I'll tighten mine first and show you how to do it. We've got some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Good morning, Mr. Romanik.
Good morning.
I have several things to say. I hope you have the time to give me. Number one.
Well, I don't know how much time I got, but we got some time for you, honey. Go ahead.
Number one. I don't want to say for sure, but hearsay is that offer for Sprague to do the Depends commercial, he's also fielding offers from the new serial drama that's going to be on television, and it's called The New Briefcase is a Handcuff.
Well, you know what? That wouldn't be bad. I think that would be appropriate, ma'am. I really do.
Speaking of Mr. Sprague, I got his what looks to be extraordinarily expensive to produce, slick, large postcard praising Ronald Reagan on one side. So naturally, you're going to assume this is from a Republican organization.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you flip it over, and there's a picture of you in what some people might call a ridiculous suit, but obviously...
Whoa. Ma'am, whether you like me or not, please, say I'm ridiculous. That flag suit, wait. That flag suit that I paid $800 for to have made, I did that out of respect for my country. So you and everybody else in this country, call Bob Romanik an idiot, a buffoon, and whatever you want. But please, none of yous talk about that flag. People died, ma'am, and I'm not jumping your ass, but people died to give me the right to wear that. I honor that flag. And for somebody to say ridiculous, they're nuts. I like to put my foot up their ass.
It illustrates just how skewed and screwed up the thinking of the St. Clair County Democrat Central Committee is.
Yes, ma'am.
I read the entire card, and I didn't think it was that. I can deduce that you were probably dressed for a 4th of July patriotic event or some kind of patriotic event. No. What better outfit to wear? No, ma'am. I was broadcasting live. I've wore that suit out because I love this great country. I don't just fly, and I'm not arguing with you, ma'am. I appreciate what you're saying. I don't fly my flag on special days at my house. I fly my flag proudly every day. I would wear that suit every day. Of course, it starts stinking. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud. I've got flag shirts. I've got flag pants. I've got flag hats, ma'am. I love this country. I just hate these politicians that are killing our way of life. Someone said to me, who sent that? Because as I'm reading it, I said, this doesn't make sense. I know these people, and I don't think that Bob Romanik and the Republicans are working together. This is all news to me. I said, the only one on this list that makes any sense is Carl Officer, because I've known Carl all my life, and I understand that you guys probably came up through the ranks together for many, many years and have an established friendship. That made sense to me. And then someone said, who sent that? And I thought, well, of course it's going to be the Republican Party. And I turned it over and looked. I said, oh, my God, it's Bob Sprague. It said St. Clair County Democratic Central
Yes, ma'am.
Committee.
Yes, ma'am.
I picked up the phone and I called that jerk's law office.
That jerk. Now, wait a minute. You talking about Bob Sprague?
Yes.
You apologize to the jerks of this country, ma'am, because they're not as bad as Bob Sprague. But go ahead. I'm just giving you
Okay, you're
hell.
right. I'm sorry, jerks to the country. You're right. And so I proceeded to tell him that I went through the list of names that they called you, a bottom feeder, a strip club owner. I don't even remember all of them, and I left it. It's at my other house. I wish I would have it here in case there are people in your audience who haven't read
wait a minute. Here, I got it. Strip club owner, bottom feeder, political pornographer, sleazy jock show host, foul mouth. Yeah, there it is. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I said was, I had the card in front of me. I said, he may be, and then I read the verbatim quote back to them. And I said, but the only thing that's got you pissed off is that he's not your bottom-feeding, strip club owning, blah, 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 blah.
Like Rich Ma'am, let me cut you. You know Rich Sojay's head of the Public Building Commission at Kern and Sprague. They eat over at this Rich Sojay's $1 million mansion in Sojay, Illinois. He owns 5 strip clubs, a dope den in Sojay, a gambling den, off-track gambling den in Sojay. He owns Oz, where they go to all their political functions free. There's 22 civil rights suits. And I don't care about them talking about me, ma'am. It's the hypocrisy in these son of a bitches, you know. And they talk about I'm a felon, I'm no good. But it wouldn't be for the felons in East St. Louis, ma'am. Guess what? These Democrats haven't got elected for the last 40 years.
If it wouldn't be for a few felons in the Democrat Party who've already been convicted of crimes that probably, because discretion is the better part of valor, kept their mouths shut about what they actually know about those clowns, they'd all be felons. So I think that they owe certain people a debt of gratitude. I'm not going to name names. You know who I'm talking about.
I know.
Now, I want to say one more thing about you to your listeners. I'm directing this. If you have never run for a political office, if you have never worked a political campaign, you have no idea the blood, the sweat, the tears, the personal sacrifice that goes into that endeavor. I grew up the child of a precinct committeeman in St. Clair County, and I was there by his side every inch of the way, every fundraiser, every campaign, everything. I know what the personal cost is. You really got to believe in what you're doing, or you're on a hunger power trip. And by you, I mean one who is running, not Bob Romanik. I don't know this man's heart, but I'm going to go by what he tells us about him, and I'm going to say I think his heart is in the right place. And if you want someone who's going to fight for you, I think Bob Romanik is your man.
Ma'am, you know what? And please, people, don't think this is a stage call, because I don't know this lady from Adam. But I want to thank you, ma'am, very, very much. Let me tell you, you do understand. These Democrats think that people are stupid. Why the hell would a Democrat worry about the Republican Party after they've screwed the Republicans in St. Clair County, ma'am, for 50 years? Now, all of a sudden, they want to give a shout out and say, hey, watch out for this guy. If the Democrats thought we were going to hurt the Republican Party, they would have kept their mouths shut. People know that. Ma'am, I've worked my ass off. They say here, my ill-gotten money. I've never taken a penny from the taxpayers. These rotten bastards take money all the time. I've worked hard, and hold on, ma'am, but I'll tell all you rotten bastards, my enemies, I'll put my income tax out, my reports out, my returns out for anybody. If you guys will do the same, I'll show you. My money come from 35 years of hard work from investments, but ma'am, you're right. I'm not taking a penny. I'm self-funding. I'm putting in tomorrow $1 million that I've worked hard for and invested all these years. I'm putting in $1 million to not to get elected, and I hope I do. I won't take a penny, and I'll fight as hard up in Springfield as I'm fighting down here. But this $1 million is going to be to destroy these son of a bitches, because somebody has to stop this culture of corruption, ma'am. It's killing us.
Romanik, do you know what our founding fathers believed in their credo? You have to be willing to give your life and your fortune for what you believe in, or it's worthless. And what you're saying right now absolutely demonstrates that. And can I give you one tiny little piece of political advice?
Yes, ma'am.
Please?
Yes, ma'am.
I have been waiting my entire life, since I was able to vote, since I was able to support somebody, to hear just one politician, which the difference between a politician and a leader, I believe, can be summed up in this campaign promise. I will not take a dime from you. I don't want you to vote for me if you think that by doing so, I will be in your debt and I will be your puppet while I'm serving the public. If that's what you think you're doing is buying access, then keep your vote, keep your money. I don't want anything from you. I would rather not be elected than do it that way.
Ma'am, you could be my speechwriter. I've said that plain. I'm not going to be beholden to anybody. I put $150,000 in my campaign to self-fund. I'm putting $1 million. You hear me? $1 million in, and I'm not a big shot, ma'am. I'm poor white trash from the housing project. I've made this money. I like money. I respect money, but I'm not like these bastards that worship money. I'm going to spend $1 million to destroy these son of a bitches. And, ma'am, they haven't had a fight like this on their hands in the last 50 years. You're going to see it. This is going to be the craziest election because Bob Romanik is half crazy because these bastards have made me crazy.
I had so much fun. I'm a Democrat. I'm a very conservative Democrat, which is why I'm starting a new blog. I'm going to give it a little plug here because I want to use it in part to help you.
Go right ahead.
It's called the CON, Conservative Democrat, condemnparty.com. I'm going to show the Tea Party how it's done. You want a clean house, you need a bigger broom. So that's going to be the aim of that's my goal. I am a conservative Democrat, and I want to get rid of these blood-sucking bastards that have been using our party, our legitimate party, which is supposed to stand for the working man, the blue-collar man, who's supposed to understand that rank-and-file union guys aren't going to get screwed over because we're going to partner with their union bosses by lining their pockets to get the concessions that we want. No way. We're going to be honest. We're looking for honest, upright, God-fearing, constitutional, country-loving people to represent us, not a bunch of charlatans. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you get in there because I do believe that you've got what it takes to get this job done. And you can't do it by yourself. You need the people to be behind you. So I'm going to garner as many hardworking, and you know what? I don't want to talk to just Democrats because they're out there. There are Republican voters who are also trapped in this Republican Party, this Democrat Party. It's not about Republican and Democrat. It's about conservative and liberal.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you. And, ma'am, let me tell you what. You made my day. And people listening out there, for all that I hold dear to me, I don't know this lady from Adam. This wasn't a shill call, but I want to thank you, ma'am. You made my day. You've motivated me. I hope you've motivated the people out there. Bob Romanik's not perfect, but Bob Romanik is the perfect warrior to send to Springfield. Ma'am, thank you very much. You've made my week. Thank you.
Warriors, in case any of you people out in that audience think that to be a saintly person or a godly person who cares about the poor, blah, 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 that's all true. That's important. God raises up people who comfort. He raises up people who feed. He raises up people who preach. And he raises up warriors. I do believe you are the warrior we need. I'm going to do everything I can to help at the condemnparty.com. It'll be up and running later today. Bye-bye.
Ma'am, thank you very much. Hey, let's take a quick break. I have to take a break after that. She's made my day. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, especially after that segment, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, marching in beat to the worldwide voice of freedom.
This program intended for mature audiences.
The only thing worse than listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, is perhaps getting your head severed. But then some will say it's a toss-up. Now, back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, your guardian of the First Amendment, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. We've got the lines flooded. Well, hold on in a little bit, people. We've got a candidate for U.S. Senate. Loves to be on our station because he knows that's where the people are listening. But before then, let's get our important people. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Yes. This is Bob Romanik?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hey, Bob. This is Nick in Grand City, Illinois.
Yeah, Nick.
Just started listening to you a couple of months ago, and, you was kind of entertaining at first. But, man, the more I hear you, the more I listen to you. You know what? I salute you, sir, for calling out politicians. And I think you're doing an excellent job. And, and I pray for your safety, too, because I know you probably get according to you get a lot of threats.
Sir, I get threats every day. They're going to kill me. They're going to do this. You know what? I lost my son. Don't want to bring it up. Last September, they can kill me. Listen to me, people. I don't give a damn. And people say, you're running for office. You say you don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I'm going to fight against these bastards. I'm going to walk through the coals of the hell. I don't give a damn, Nick, because that's my life's work, is to beat these son of a bitches down that have beat us down for all these years.
Yes. Well, sir, my hat's off to you. I support what you do, but I got a complaint.
Go ahead.
Come to Madison County and help us out here. We got so much corruption here in Madison County. It's pathetic.
You know what, Nick? I appreciate the call, and you do. You do have a lot of corruption, and we're probably going to go to 2 hours. And when we do, we're coming up to Madison County because the good people of Madison County don't need to be treated the way you've been treated either. Nick, thank you very much. We appreciate the call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Yeah, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I got this mailer from the Democratic Central Committee. And I think what this is supposed to be is like a voter's guide. I'm supposed to take this to the polls and all these names at the bottom. That's what I vote for. Is that what that means?
Hey, sir, you know what? That's like our pound card. They printed up. Sir, they spent $45,000 sending that out, and I took a half hour. It didn't cost me nothing yesterday and today to explain it away. Do you understand? Doesn't that piss you off that they think people are that stupid? Now, finally, the Democratic culture of corruption, God Sprague, and Kern and Barra Civic here in St. Clair County, they think that all voters, Democrats and Republicans, are stupid enough to fall for that crap. Hey, we're Democrats, but we're worried about you Republicans now after 50 years. Don't vote for Romanik and these guys. They're bad. If we were bad, sir, they'd let us go and let us destroy the Republican Party. Sir, we're going to we got these son of a bitches on the run.
Yeah, well, that's what I think. I think that if they really thought you weren't a threat, they wouldn't have had anything like that. I mean, they're saying that you're bad for the Republican Party, but that should be good for them, wouldn't it? You would think.
Sir,
I don't know.
Hey, thank you very much. You made a good point. Thank you, sir. We've got the candidate for U.S. Senate waiting for us. So thank you, sir, for the call and appreciate you listening. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side. Go ahead.
Hey there, Bob. I think you may have me here as your caller.
Who is this?
Smarter candidate for U.S. Senate.
Hey, how you doing, sir? No, I do have you, and I apologize. We just went crazy today on some stuff down here, and I am about half nuts. Sir, how's your candidate? And give us your name again, sir, what you're running for, and I want to thank you for coming on the dark side. Most people don't have the guts, but I'm sure you're a candidate that wants to be transparent for the people, so I want to salute you for that.
Absolutely. I'm James Martyr, candidate for U.S. Senate, the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate, the only Republican on that ballot.
All right, Mr. Martyr, where do you hail from, sir?
I live in Oswego, Illinois, Kendall County. I have been to Madison County. I know exactly where it's at. I went to the Madison County Central Committee meeting in October, picked up a lot of petition signatures down there, been down there for a few events, and I've even worked in Madison County, worked in Granite City, and I've also working a little bit in Sauget in St. Clair County.
Yeah, well, sir, we're from St. Clair County. We're running on the Republican ticket, and we'd be more than happy to try to salute you. What is your background, sir?
I own my own software consulting company. Been doing that for the last 13 years on my own, 30 years in the same field. I've traveled around the state a lot. As I mentioned, I've worked at many companies and plants around this state, a little bit around their country, and a bit around the world. So that's what I've been doing.
Sir, give us your name, because we're not real familiar with you down here, because I know you're spending a lot of time all throughout the state. Give us your name. You're running for the United States Senate in the Republican primary, right?
Yes, James Martyr, United States Senate, the Republican, number one on the ballot. Vote the first person on the ballot. You're voting for me.
Mr. Martyr, we sure wish you the best. How can they reach you if they'd like to get some information? Do you have a website or a Facebook?
My last name's Martyr, spelled M-A-R-T-E-R, M-A-R-T-E-R, the number 4, Senate, and .us as in United States. That's martyrforsenate.us. I am your Second Amendment guy who will protect that Second Amendment, which is what is needed to protect that First Amendment you're always talking about. We need that Second Amendment. We need someone who understands that it is unequivocal as stated in our Bill of Rights.
I want to ask, sir, do you have a backing from the Republican Party in any way, shape, or form?
I've actually achieved a number of Republican township endorsements, a few county chair endorsements. The state party, no, there's no backing from them whatsoever. They're kind of supposedly staying out of this primary. For the most part, they're supporting the incumbent senator, but I have backing from, as you know, Republican Party is very autonomous when you talk about townships and counties.
Yes,
they
sir.
have their own rules. They have to live within our party platform, but I've got great support around the state from those autonomous Republican groups. We've got the endorsements from many of them posted on our website.
You've got the grassroots campaign, and Mr. Martyr, that's what we all need. We need people like you, people like me. We need people that have been around. We're not perfect, and Mr. Martyr, I probably will give you a vote, but you have to tell me and give me this truthfully. Are you a perfect person?
Absolutely not.
All right, then you've got my vote, because the only perfect person I believe that was Jesus, and I'm not a real religious guy, but if there was one, it had to be him. But these people that go around casting stones, and Mr. Martyr, again, give us your information for your website, because I hope that people will look at your background, look what you're fighting for, and you do have an uphill battle, because these incumbents, they've got all the money, but the Trump phenomenon, not that I'm for Trump or you're for Trump, Mr. Martyr, but that Trump phenomenon is coming out. People are tired of organized politics. They want to vote the person, not the party.
That's right. My website, again, is martyrforsenate.us. Last name spelled M-A-R-T-R, the number 4, senate.us. If you want someone who understands the Constitution, limited government, wants to get to balanced budget, zero-based budgeting, stop these omnibus bills. It's nonsense. We got to stop it. It's politics as usual in Washington. We need to change Washington. They don't need to change us.
So on March the 15th, you're requesting and asking for a vote for James Martyr, Republican candidate for United States Senator. Mr. Martyr, give you the last word to the good people in Southern Illinois.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, need to send somebody to Washington who will look out for you, the American citizen taxpayer, first, not second, third, or last. Someone who supports the Constitution, please vote for me. The one endorsement I want is your vote on March 15th.
Very well said. Mr. James Martyr, candidate on the Republican ticket for United States Senator. Mr. Martyr, we thank you for taking the time to be transparent to us down here in Southern Illinois, and we wish you the best, sir.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, and very proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, proudly broadcasting in the United States of America. The greatest country on God's green earth. This program intended for mature audiences.
The Grim Reaper of radio, death, and taxes. 3 things you never really want to experience. Now, let's get back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. We appreciate all the callers. We had to leave some hanging, and please call anytime. If I'm not ranting and raving, we'd be more than happy to hear what everybody has to say. We don't deserve 15 minutes of fame. You have to earn that. But everybody, every American citizen deserves 15 minutes of recognition to be heard. And that's what we do here at KQQZ 1190 AM and also KZQZ 1430 AM. Real quick, I read in the paper about the St. Patrick's Day parade's coming up. And, you know, the Hibernians in Belleville wouldn't let us in the parade. And I don't want to shart all the proud Irish people. We're going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We don't care about the few thugs. And I'll say that, a few thugs in the St. Clair chapter of the Hibernians, the Beresivicks, the Spragues, the Kerns. We don't give a damn about a few thugs. We're not going to let that pass the bad light on the true, patriotic, God-fearing, decent Irish people in Belleville and all throughout this great country. And we're going to participate, and we're going to salute and honor, even though they wouldn't let us in the parade. And I would think the proud Irish people that died fighting for our rights would be embarrassed by a few of these Hibernians. But the Irish people called me. They asked me if I wanted to come on their float, the fireman's float in St. Louis. Mary called, and I said, that's awful nice. He said, hey, we'll welcome you over here, Bob Romanik. We listen to you. We love you. And that's true Irish people. So don't hold the 99.9% of decent Irish people. Don't hold them responsible for the few thugs in St. Clair County who have thugged us all. They don't just thug us about politics. They thug us about your ethnic group. They ought to welcome everybody. The proud Irish would welcome everybody to participate in their day of honor, their day of celebration. But I want to thank everybody, and especially Mary and the firemen in St. Louis, the proud Irish people who gave me a call, said they'd be proud to have me in their parade. And thank you guys very much. We're going to try to make it over there. We've only got a couple more minutes. You can go to Freedom Coalition page on Facebook. We're going to have a picture. We've got some pictures posted of Bob. I would rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal Sprague. That ignorant, stupid son of a bitch. You ought to see these pictures. We're going to embarrass him, Kern, and Beresivic. Well, I take that back. We can't embarrass them. They've embarrassed themselves. When you guys walk down the street, just know that they're laughing at you. They're not looking at you guys in awe. They're laughing at you, son of a bitches. They've got something, and I don't know if it's Sprague, but it looks like Sprague. And the guy's got some Depends on, old, nasty, old leg, wrinkled up legs. That's Bob. I would rather piss in my pants, piss in my drawers, than piss in a urinal Sprague. And Bob Sprague, I think you know what we're talking about. You got a problem? The chairman of the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption? Give me a call, you little bitch boy. Give me a call. You're not so big. Everybody thinks you're so powerful. Kern's so powerful. Beresivic. Well, this poor white trash son of a bitch, Bob Romanik from the Roosevelt Homes in East St. Louis, is calling you out. This friendly felon, this no good son of a bitch, Bob Romanik. I hear it every day from you guys. And if I'm there, you're right there with me. Don't be hypocritical, you son of a bitches. You know what you've done. I know what you've done. And if I was less than a man, I'd come out with it. And you son of a bitches all know what I'm talking about. And by the way, Beresivic, I'm going to send you some candy. I hear they're sending Sprague some Depends. We're going to send you John Red on the noodle like a pecker on a poodle, Beresivic. We're going to send you some candy. You know what I'm talking about, Big John, don't you? I say Big John because I'm talking about that big head between your shoulders, not that little head between your drawers, you ignorant, stupid son of a bitch. But go to freedomcoalitionnow.com. It's our Facebook page. And you'll see some nice pictures of Bob. I would rather piss in my drawers than piss in a urinal Sprague. That's better than God, Sprague. We found out that he's not God. He thought he was God. But Sprague, you heard that lady who I don't know from Adam. I like her, though. I was going to jump her ass about the flag suit, so don't think that she was a shill for me. But her and everybody else, we've had several callers, and we don't want to keep going on the same subject. They're pissed, Sprague. You sent this out, this hit piece, this political hit piece on me because you're afraid of us. You're afraid of us, Sprague. You're not worried about the Republican Party. Like the gentleman said, if you were worried about the Republican Party, you wouldn't have done that. You would have said, hey, listen, Romanik and these guys, they're going to destroy the Republican Party. Let's don't say nothing. No, you want to keep it up, Sprague, because you know we're out to destroy. We're not just going to have Republicans. People, we're the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. We're uniting Democrats, Republicans, independents, men, women, black and white, to destroy this culture of corruption. And it's going to take all of us, and we can do it. These bastards have run out the decent Democrats. You heard that lady. Her dad was a precinct committeeman. She used to love the Democratic Party. I hear that time after time after time. The true Democrats are going to come over. They're going to vote for the coalition ticket because they can't stand this culture of corruption. These are the decent Democrats, not the Democratic mobsters, the thugs, the Spragues, the Kerns, the Barrow Civics that have taken over and destroyed the true Democratic base in St. Clair County. You know, they lost the governor, Republican governor. They couldn't win a governor in St. Clair County. They lost a sitting judge to a great candidate, Judge Steve McGlynn. They lost the congressman seat, the incumbent congressman seat after 40, 50 years. That's under Sprague and Kern and Barrow Civic's leadership, people. So don't think this Democratic Party is strong. It's not strong. They're going down, people. It's time. 2016, November the 8th is the perfect storm. We can take our counties back, our states back. We can take this great country back. But we have to unite. We have to unite and do it. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We're going to be fighting the cause, November the 8th, 2016, right around the corner, people. And we're going to continue to expose these no good son of a bitches. Election time, what a great time. Find out how bad these politicians are. They spend millions of dollars, people, to get a $150,000 a year job. Why do you think? So they can get their greasy, sleazy, grimy hands into our pockets, our hard-working, tax-paying people's pockets. Get your hands out of my pockets, you rotten bastards, Sprague, Kern, Barrow Civic, but you can put them in my drawers, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. So let's continue, people. It is a fight till the end. It is a fight for survival. So let's continue to unite, to expose these rotten political parasitical punks, these cockroach-sucking, no-good son of a bitches, and let's destroy them again before they destroy us and our families. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away.